What's up, everybody? Welcome to Awesome Tech You Can't Buy Yet, a weekly show where I bring you the 5 best crowdfunding projects that have recently landed on the internet. First up this week, we have Pico, which is a robot assistant that responds entirely through video clips. So, you know how Bumblebee from Transformers kind of lost his voice and then only communicated through using clips taken from like the internet and radio and all that stuff? This is essentially that same idea, but executed in a robot that functions a lot like an Amazon Alexa. So, for example, if you were to say something like, "Hey Pico, turn off my lights," instead of just turning off your lights and being all boring like Amazon Alexa, it'd give you a little video clip, say a clip from Full House where Michelle goes, "You got it, dude," and then it would turn off its lights. This thing is currently up on Kickstarter for about $149. The only downside, of course, is that you're gonna have to build it yourself. It doesn't come assembled. Regardless though, they do expect to ship this in September of 2019. Next up, we have the O-Garden Smart, which is an indoor gardening system that lets you grow herbs and other plants in your house totally autonomously. Now, this definitely isn't the first time we've seen a product like this on Kickstarter. There are tons of them. I swear there's a new one every week, but this one is a little bit different. Thanks to its really clever design, it's actually capable of holding 90 different plants all at once. So it holds 60 plants in this big circular barrel that rotates around a grow light, and then there's another 30 down in the nursery below that lets you sprout plants before you put them in the tumbler. So in other words, this thing basically lets you grow way more stuff than most other indoor gardens do. It is gonna cost you though. This thing is going for about $552 on Kickstarter right now, and they expect to ship it in May. Next up, we have the Kamek Mantis, which is an all-in-one hammock sleeping system. So Kamek is kind of an up-and-coming outdoor brand. They're based in Texas, and they do really, really cool, innovative stuff. This thing is their attempt to condense all of the stuff you typically need for hammock camping into one piece of gear. So in addition to having a hammock, it also has a bug net that you can zip into it, and it comes with a rain fly that integrates into the whole body. So essentially, it's all of the things that you would get from a traditional tent that you sleep on the ground, but it's suspended from the air, which makes it more comfortable and lighter in your pack. It comes in 2 different flavors right now on Kickstarter. You can get the regular version for about 185 bucks, and then there's also an ultralight version that's about 215 bucks. The difference is about 9 ounces of weight, if that matters to you. They've also got kind of a weird thing going on with the pricing. So if you pledge for an orange hammock, you can get that thing in April. However, if you back one that's any other color, it's gonna come in June. Next up, we have the Nebbia 2.0, which is an ultra-efficient shower head. So you might remember this thing from a few years ago. They launched a Kickstarter campaign back in 2015, and it gathered like $3 million for a shower head, which is like the most bizarre thing ever. Really, the idea behind it is instead of just squirting out water, it runs it through an atomizer and just makes tiny little droplets. So while you feel like you're getting wet and you can still rinse yourself off and everything, it's using like 70% less water than it otherwise would. So it's way better for the planet. Version 2.0 has a couple key upgrades compared to the first generation. So first of all, it has better heat dispersion, so it just keeps you warmer while you're showering. And second of all, it sprays the water in a wider area, so you don't have to like carefully position yourself under the stream. The only downside, of course, is that just like the first generation, this one is ridiculously expensive. So if you back the early bird version, you can get it for $349. But if you miss out on all of that, you're gonna have to pay $429 for the standard pledge. It's kind of a lot of money, but you will be doing a good thing for the planet, and I suppose you'll also probably save some money on your water bill in the long run. Last but not least, we have Black 3.0, which is the world's blackest paint. So you might remember this material called Vanta Black, which is the world's darkest material. It's made from carbon nanotubes, and it absorbs like 99.9% of all light that's shined at it. The problem with Vanta Black is that it's patented and has all kinds of rights issues, so only a few people actually have access to this stuff. So this company from the UK actually went out and made a different version of the same idea that you can get in regular paint, so you can use it for creative projects. Right now on Kickstarter, you can get a bottle of this stuff for about $32, or if you get the 2-pack, you can get it for $39, which is a much better deal. But in either case, they expect to ship this in May of this year. That does it for this week, but be sure to tune in again next week and I will bring you 5 more awesome crowdfunding projects that you probably wouldn't have seen otherwise. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you liked this video, definitely check out some of our older stuff. It should be over here somewhere. We do these videos every week, so lots of these Kickstarter projects are still live. I also encourage you to check out some of our future stuff by going to digitaltrends.com or checking us out on Instagram TV.